Hey guys, I've made a fair few changes since the last video, which I actually made during the pre-patch before Legion launched, so I didn't have like my artifact weapon or any of that jazz, wasn't 110, etc. I thought it'd be a good idea to do another update so that what you get in the Weakauras is a little bit closer to what you see in the video. The layout itself hasn't really done a lot. I've just tweaked a fair few things, which I'll go through after, just quickly explaining the layout again, just so you don't have to watch an extra video um, for the people that haven't seen it before. From left to right, we've got these are all basically your spell cooldowns. So we've got combustion, we've got fire blast. Those two never change. Now a few of these next ones change depending on what talent you have selected. For example, this one here is Cinderstorm. If I change that to Kindling, you can see it changes to Kindling, and it also changes to Meteor. Next one over, Living Bomb, Unstable Magic, Flame Patch. You also see that the passive talents are dimmed out a bit. Um, that's just so you know what's there. They're still there, but just as an indicator, so you know what you've got talented. Dragon's Breath, and then Flame On, which is also Blast Wave and Controlled Burn. The last one there is your mirror image, your Incanter's Flow, which will change color depending on how many stacks of Incanter's Flow you've got. It's just an easy way to gauge what your stacks are at, and so you can see that properly. Anyway, I'll go back to Rune of Power because I'll show you something after. Below that, we've got the Ice Flows charges. They're still the same. There's 3 charges. When you use it, you get a little graphic pop up showing that Ice Flows is active. If you use all of them, just because. Up the very top here, we've got on each side, depending on whether you've got Shimmer or Blink talented, you'll see either 1 or 2, or 2 or 1 bars at the top. If I use one of them, you'll see that it disappears. If I use the other one, disappears, and so on. Now the orange bars across the top here are your Phoenix Flames charges. If I cast Phoenix Flames, you'll see that disappear there, and it'll go on recharge. And finally, the last thing you see here is the little number at the top, which is your crit chance with Fireball. That'll change depending on your enhanced pyrotechnic stacks. So if you miss your crits, I'll just show you how that works now. If you miss your crits, nope. If you miss your crits, okay, see, so it's gone up 10% because I've got a stack of enhanced pyrotechnics. That'll go back down once you crit again with Fireball. Anyway, there's also the cauterize indicator. So when you get the cauterize buff, there's a big icon here. I can't show you at the moment because I can't kill myself in this little area, but there's a big icon there appears when your cauterize is active, and when it's back on cooldown, internal cooldown, you'll see a red bar going across the bottom underneath the Ice Flows charges. Now for the changes that I've made since the last video. Other than fixing a few little small bugs and annoyances, I've changed the way that all of the charge spells work, and how you see the cooldowns. So instead of having, it used to be so that when you only had, like, say you had 2 charges of Phoenix Flames, there'd be 2 bars there, and they'd both have like a progress on them, so you can see the recharge on the bars. I've changed that now so that when there's a charge missing, there's actually a grey bar there to show you that that charge is recharging, which if you look there, you can see now that there's a grey bar there. Same with Ice Flows, same with Shimmer, and they're all now the same colour, so you don't get confused. You know that that grey recharge is that charge recharging, if that makes sense. I've changed all the animation of the bars as well. They used to pop in and pop out, but I just thought I'd change that up a little bit for the sake of it, really. I think it looks a little bit nicer now. I've just made them fade in and out instead of popping, as you can see. That was probably a bad one to use. We've got Phoenix Flames, you can see it fade. If I use an Ice Flows, you can see it fade in and out, etc. Another minor change is the cooldowns. The icons, they'll go grey when they're on cooldown now. So if I use Cinderstorm, you can see it's grey. If I use Living Bomb, you can see it's grey when they're on cooldown, etc. Flame Blast when it's got 0 charges. It just makes it easier to see when the spell's back up and available. This gives you a bit of contrast. Now the biggest change that I've probably made, which I'll show you now, which is the last thing out of this HUD that I'll show you, is I put some animations over combustion and Rune of Power when the buff is active, and it shows you how long you've got left on the buff as well. This was inspired by looking at some other Weakauras by a mage called Effie, but I'll just show you how it works. It's probably easier rather than trying to explain it. If I cast Rune of Power and I get the buff, you'll see that there's an animation there active, and you'll see how long it's got left on that Rune of Power buff. If I go out of it, it disappears. If I go back in, it appears again. Same goes for combustion. I'll cast Rune of Power again, so you see both of them at the same time, and combustion. So you can see there that the animations are going while the buff's active, which I think is pretty good. It looks pretty good. It's a good indicator to show you um, the status of those. That's pretty much it for the HUD. That's all the changes. That's how it all works. One other extra thing that I want to go through this time, which I didn't go through in the last video, I kind of forgot about it. And these are a couple of extra Weakaura sets that I've got as part of my compilations, my Fire, my Arcane, my Frost compilations. I just want to quickly show you these. You might have noticed while I was throwing spells around before that there were a few icons popping up on the left-hand side here. There's two separate groups on the left here. One is a large icons group and one is a smaller icons group. The larger one is for big mage importanty kind of buffs. For example, if I cast Ice Block, you'll see a big icon with the Ice Block timer left on there. Invisibility, Time Warp, just those really big buffs that are quite important. And there's also a smaller bar just above it. Now, if I cast some spells, which shows your weapon procs and things like that. I don't even know if I've got anything active at the moment. What's my neck thing? Seda. See if we can get it to proc. If not, I'll just bring the... Nah, it's not procking. I'll just get out of combat so I can show you the little bar, but Tal and myself made this, and it's actually hosted on Tal's page. That's my partner, who also does some Druid Weakauras and stuff. Okay, we're out of combat. Okay, so you can see here on the left, there's all the big buffs, and there's above here, you can see like all the pots, the trinket procs. It's pretty much got every trinket proc from all the dungeons and quests and the Emerald Nightmare raid, and your neck procs as well. There's also one other one which I want to show you, which is part of the compilation, which I don't actually use because I don't really think it's necessary for the most part, which is the mage utilities. Now, if I load this and just close it down, you can see here it just shows you a few of your utility spells as well. Your Ice Barrier, your Ice Block, you can see some of them are on cooldown because I've used them. Your Frost Nova. Your racials has got racials in there as well, so if you want to add that to your UI, you just import that as a separate group and it'll appear underneath. You can move any of these separate groups around to where you like them as well, so they're not fixed. That's pretty much it. That's all I really wanted to show you. Obviously there's been a few changes, and if I do make any more major changes, I'll probably do another video just to show you guys the updates and keep it all up to date. But I hope you enjoy these Weakauras, and thanks for watching.